So there's still a window of opportunity for Northampton, but the siege we've seen from them this afternoon hasn't been great, so they need to step it up.
And as I said, I think it's possible. I think that the path forward does suggest that it's definitely doable for Northampton. You know, there's not as if there's a map that's going to be a really big roadblock. Like, so let's say if, you know, Clubhouse had been like the next map after this for Scarz. And then you kind of go, okay, maybe it's going to be a bit tough for Northampton. But I think, you know, firstly, their map pick, they chose Chalet. They hopefully chose it for a good reason. If they can play it well here, they're in the attack first, which I think should be really good for them to find some good confidence in the first half, do well. Pretty standard bans so far. Don't really have to comment too much about these. And then from there, you win Chalet, go to Bank. It's a pretty similar kind of map. And then you win that, bam, you're into the deciding map. So it's just a matter of one at a time. That's all you've got to do. Don't have to do anything too crazy. It's really not that long road of a back. You win this, you win the next, done. Like, and at that point, you don't have to think about winning the last map. You're just there. You take it one round at a time again. So, and at that point, if it does eventuate in that fashion, all the pressure suddenly then goes on to Scarz that they're going to potentially allow a full-blown reverse sweep. So first round we go. It is going to be Northampton attacking and Scarz on the defense. And yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I think that for Scarz, it is also a good opportunity to close this one out 3-0 and really cement themselves the chance of being the best team in the region, back-to-back Japan leagues, and to do it in good fashion. We've gone full Japan though mode as well, guys, as you can see the team names. So Northampton left, obviously blue, and for Scarz, they are defending first orange.
Yeah, I'm a little bit fearful for Northampton starting off in the attack because they have looked a little bit uninspired in comparison to Scarz, and identifying and then playing around the win conditions that still exist late round has not been near as strong. So again, we just have to wait and see if that trend does continue. For Scarz, this is a free shot. You have nothing to lose. You may as well give it all you've got, and then you have a couple more opportunities still to recover the series. So I would expect that confidence is still flowing for this team, and it's going to be quite difficult, I think, for Northampton to be able to knock that confidence. And that's going to be their aim for the first couple of rounds, is to establish some kind of pressure on that scoreboard to see if cracks begin to appear for Scarz. So far, pressure's been very difficult to come by for Northampton, and Scarz have been allowed to play with a lot of freedom.
So kitchen dining, we go first. No bar games. We don't go snow wine, which has become quite a bit more prevalent. It's really CEO. Bedroom and office that have probably fallen out of the meta a little bit. This has become a site that has been firmly entrenched as one of the more sites of choice now. Stand above. Make it difficult to push in, especially from Solar side, so it forces the library push.
Oh, okay, so Sharif does get the first, so it's a good start for Northampton. Not sure he dealt with, and control now in the hands of the attack over towards Mez. Down below as well, Sharif able to sweep that. Scarz, though, I'm sure will want to offer resistance above, down below as well, also an option. There is a drone though in this position, not being actively watched, so Rek, if he wants to cross, well, he could have and should have done it then, but he goes for the safer option back up Westmain.
Sorry, 60 seconds left now. Opening round and a good start for Northampton. They get the second into the round. And this is all they need to do. Build confidence. You know, kind of use Chalet as a launching platform for the rest of this series. Get a good first half going. Get some good attacking round wins. Start to get a bit of a flow and a rhythm going. From there, win this map. Go into the rest of them and feel as if you can really compete. Obviously, Oregon disappointing, but, you know, at least it was close. Clubhouse, whitewash, whatever. It was Scarz's map pick, move on. So you can kind of mentally check yourself back into this series by starting well here on Chalet. So important. And that's exactly what they're going to do. This might end up actually being flawless. At most, Pure might find one, but he's getting pressured. He does eventually get the kill on Tanina. Pushes through Kitchen now. He's going to be met with a lot of unfriendly faces. Northampton Start well on Chalet. Really clean opening round to break up this kitchen dining defense. But that's all they need. One round at a time. Build the confidence. And from there, plenty of things have happened in a Siege best of 5. You can get yourself back into a series really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. It's about building this momentum round by round. In doing so, eventually that will start to translate into pressure as well on Scarz. I think we're just trying a little bit too hard in that round to find engagements and to try and win out fights that weren't really going to go their way. So, see the reset now go up above for round number 2. And options for North Option available. They could go for a default library, double push. Okay, global shield, piano, aggressive here from Scarz, so that may be to try and dissuade this library push, especially with these footholds. And if North Option identify this as being a threat, it's something that they don't want to contend with. I think if they're switched on in this map, we'll see them quickly rotate solo and go for that push instead.
And it's also important for Scarz too to make sure they don't allow North Option back into the series. They've got to at least fight well on here in Chalet. All right, they can't just go to get beaten down here comfortably, give up the map easily, because then it just gives North Option a free look in rewards bank after this. They'll feel confident. They'll feel like they can get back into the series. So you don't want to give this up freely and then allow Bank to end up being this sort of arm wrestle. And then if you lose that arm wrestle, you go to a 5th map, right? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're actually on our heels. Right back into the series, 2-2 apiece. Very quickly things can turn. So it's important that even if Scarz do lose here on Chalet, it's got to be a very competitive unit. They've got to make North Option really work for it. You know, just outside Boiler. No real contest down below though. No lurk, no real hold. Not much happening to start this second round. No real contact. You know, may look to come out West Main. Probably wants to push through Wine. Thrown it out. Expecting potentially a hold down below. 90 seconds left. Prone over towards Library Stairs. One of the defenders, Scarz. And Saya now in towards Games. Has defused it. Has to be careful, especially if Wreck can't just push through that doorway for free. Very aggressive defense right now from Scarz. Looking for contact.
Pyun is forcing something that isn't there. This is a low percentage play exposing himself to front door, but he doesn't get drained by Saya Chan. Okay.
He's droned. He's droned.
The drone saw him. Well, it must have, because Yuki's finds that for free.
Yeah, you see the ping. Yellow ping, red ping. They knew he was there. Got droned out. He was too busy watching front door. And yeah, as you said, low percentage play because you just... Wow, actually, that's a wonderful kill from Yuki as well. That's probably the round completely unlocked now. Okay, you can maybe lose Pion at the bottom of the chimney, but you can't then lose Wishoy for nothing. And 2 rounds in a row where North Option have been able to just get whatever they want here on Chalet to begin with. On the attack, Blood's drone. That's a shot from Rack to just reposition the crosshair to get the kill. Doesn't matter. North Option are going to win this second round. And so far, concerning signs here on Chalet for Scarz, their defense, they're almost trying to do too much, guys. Trying to be too aggressive.
Which is weird, because that wasn't what found them success in the first 2 maps. On the first 2 maps, they actually looked a lot better when they were making high percentage plays and forcing North Option into low percentage desperate playmaking positions. Yeah, so far, first 2 rounds, they're playing these ridiculous roams, exposing themselves to way too many positions, and they're not denying any information from the attack. So North Option, doing their due diligence, droning out positions which aren't that all that uncommon. They get rewarded. They get rewarded fire plays. Fair enough. Washoy was a nice pick, not off information, but still don't know why Washoy was necessarily peeking at it in the fashion that he was. Then you had the Library Stairs peek, for instance, which again was really nice. And yeah, we're going to see a tactical come out in response. Good decision here from Scarz. They don't want to throw away this opportunity on this map. Like, sure, we're framing it as a free punch, but you also just don't want to be playing it in the fashion that they are, because it's not going to find success. There's a reason the first 2 rounds have been lopsided. So an opportunity to reset and change the frame of mind for the rest of this half, just to reel it in a little bit. Because sure, on Chalet you can be rewarded for aggression and that contact, but as the moment you step over that line, you find yourself in a world of hurt.
I do like the early timeout as well. I agree. I mean, in agreement there, I think you don't want to allow this to get to a point where they're just kind of running away with the map, and then you try and stall it out a little bit too late, and then before you know it, the damage is done. 2 rounds, 2 attacking rounds, you can kind of give up early. It's not the end of the world, especially on a map like Chalet, so you can kind of at least, I think, get back to this one rather comfortably. And I think Snow White might be the site for it, right? If you're wanting to play these early contact positions, you're wanting to roam, you're wanting to lurk, you want to be off site, this is going to be the site to do it. We'll see if maybe this is an opportunity for Scarz to just get one back. That's all they've got to do as well. It's really, you get probably 2 defensive rounds here on Chalet, might just do the trick. When you think about Chalet in the Japan region, played 7 times, it has though been favoring defenders, which is probably hard to imagine.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Scarz here on this defense to have structure to the roam. It's all well and good to have players off site. That's not inherently the issue that I think Scarz are facing at the moment. It's just these positions and plays that the roamers are trying to make, which are pretty ridiculous. And again, Northampton are spotting it out. They're playing into it. They're shutting it down. So with things like that mirroring play for top floor and mute jammers as well from Breck, anticipating this to be a little bit more intuitive from Scarz and a little less random. See how Northampton respond though, and there is the option to perhaps set up, be a little bit more direct, straight in snow. Sharif can lurk main. That way they can try their best to ignore the roam, but again with some of the vert potential, especially in snow and the rotate dining hatch, more often than not, as the attack, you will need to contest the players up above.
We'll see how they respond out the back of this tactical timeout for Scarz. Well, honestly, feels like the first time in this grand final that they are kind of on the back foot. They're the ones that have to turn the tide a little bit within a particular map, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, they actually were the ones that started a little bit better than Northampton, so at no point were they ever really behind. Obviously, Clubhouse, definitely at no point were they behind. That was a whitewash. So for the first time in the grand final, Northampton finally just able to sort of flex their muscles a little bit. Can it be stopped early for Scarz? Can they put an end to this? Get a couple of rounds, put the pressure right back on Northampton. Already down 2 maps in this best of 5 grand final. Can't afford to lose another map. Otherwise, Scarz will go straight to phase 2. They'll take the extra money, and they will be well and truly labeled the best team in Japan. Going over towards bedroom. And it's Sharif that finds the opening kill to Washoy. And these are big kills. Washoy was a big factor in the first 2 maps. And Sharif, Nina, they struggled. They couldn't find these opening kills. They couldn't really get Northampton going. But they're doing it here on Chalet. Now off the back of that tactical timeout, take out the Goyo. You put pressure immediately onto Wine. Now they can look to open up this snow wall. It's already been opened up. There's pressure everywhere at the moment for Scarz on the defense.
Mirror window is well dealt with, I think, by the shock drone. So concerning signs here again for Scarz. Diffuser in the hands of the Thermite, so Tai has a big role to play in denying the plant with Nitro Cell, still trying to deal with that Vulcan canister. Perfect timing though, Yukas can't push down, but Sharif, good for 2, and he's just been lurking around West Main the entire round.
Seconds remaining.
And that's another one to fall. It's more of the same here on Chalet. Even after the tactical timeout, even on a new site, Scarz still faltering. Tayu though, and yeah, time a factor now. Big 3K, no time. Nina Yukis, they don't have diffuser. That's a big moment in this grand final from Tayu. Just when it seemed like it was more of the same building in that round for Northampton guys, at the very last second, they collapse.
Northampton, to their credit, did an okay job in denying that initial plant off in the Nitro, but then there was no coverage on the con swing. I think the player may, if there was a player mainstairs, not in a good enough position to deny that swing. So it was as easy as the mirror going wide, denying the entry with the Vector. Yeah, once the diffuser was on the floor, you're not reclaiming that in time. Then have to go for kills, but there was only about 5 seconds left. So a very, very sketchy round from Scarz. Like, that was by no means their round to win, but at least it's something on the scoreboard. Someone finally stepping up and actually having a bit of a moment, a bit of a play. And that may now inspire a bit of confidence for the rest of this half.
Yeah, is that the rounds as well that maybe just breaks any kind of spirit for Northepshire, where it's just like the ultra swing from looking like they're going to go up 3-0 and get themselves back into this grand final to a big round win for Scarz. A round that, again, it looked like it was just falling apart. Credit Sharif, the West main double kill. One below, one above. He really opened up that side of the map for Northepshire. They were able to push in, get the plant as soon as he gets denied though. And credit to Tayu and along with Fishlike, you're just able to then really get yourself back into that round. Then there's 10 seconds left. They have to scramble and they can't. And you get to go to kitchen dining now as well and play this one out a little bit better than the opening round, which was honestly quite poor. They got picked apart very comfortably. And they looked for some rather silly positions, got punished. And all they have to do now for Scarz is to honestly just play a little bit more conventional. And suddenly then it's 2-2, pressure right back on Northepshire, and things then don't look as bad as they seemed before.
2 minutes on the clock then, and the hold above holding at the moment for Scarz. Double window pressure, piano window pressure. They're looking to pinch out this position. Nina as well could be a lurk threat here. Scarz to deal with. Is currently playing hallway monitor through fireplace. These are in the hands of Sayo-chan, who I think is pretty eager to try and get some solid control here up above. These castle barricades, though, are making it a little bit difficult for the attack. Finally dealt with. But I like this from Scarz. It's conservative. Oh, I was going to say, it's pretty conservative. Wreck, though, again, just playing this fireplace position, I presume, and exposing himself to way too many angles. And in a meta like this, that is reliant on some of these low entries from attack on a map like Chalet, just can't be playing like that.
50 seconds left in the round. Yes, you got the opening kill, but still a lot more that needs to be done from that. As you mentioned, Rex struggling so far. He's not the only one though. Pion or Shoy not having the same impact that they had back on Clubhouse. It's a completely different story. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure here into Shoy. Yeah, I mean, there's pressure everywhere. All positions that were still under lock for Scarz, they just got absolutely decimated one by one. It was like a synchronized attack from Northepshire. And kitchen dining again, just not the sight at all for Scarz. Really, this should be 4-0. This should be 4-0 to Northepshire.
Yeah. They're doing such a good job on attack and just finding that opening pick, and then they have the confidence to lock down the other positions, but they've sort of just been sitting and preparing and waiting with that information to then enact on it. The top floor push was very patient from Northepshire, but that certainly shifted once they get that first kill and it goes unanswered. Scarz are just sitting ducks, quite literally just sitting there waiting for that push, and it's coming from multiple angles at the exact same time. It's simply impossible to win out more than one engagement. And I think Scarz are so down in the dirt already in this map that they're even struggling to win, to be even competitive in that first line of defense. So Scarz are just running all over the top of them at the moment. And again, it's a result thus far that didn't come with that expectation. It's a little bit of a surprise. Sure, Northepshire, we weren't counting them out of the series and we thought they may be able to mount a comeback, but I would agree with you. This should be 4-0.
A little bit of old school though here on Chalet. It's bar games, top library stairs shield, like the Yokai drone as well, in towards top library. It's a site that has fallen a little bit out of favor to some degree. Difficult at times for defenders to fall back from key positions. We did see it actually where, I can't remember the team itself, but the extension over towards office was brought out, worked, but really not something that you can employ every single time. But evidently now it is site that is needed for Scarz. They've got to find success here. Get a second round on the board. Otherwise, Northampton will be in a very good position to make this a big one on Chalet. Bottom lurk again for Northampton. This has probably been the success for them. Any kind of lurk down below, they've won it every single time. Anything over towards Snow Wine, the entries from Boiler, West Main, it's all been for Northampton. There has not really been any kind of counter from Scarz. Scarz more worried about positions like main entrance. It's just not been the go. And by the way, that yokai drone's already been pinged out. So that's not going to be able to have really an impact here in this round.
Yeah, credit to the drone work from Northampton. That has been really good in identifying some of these threats. The lurk game again. So, on this occasion, 417. This is the point of the round where more often than not, Scarz are losing an early player. The likes of Washoy need to be so careful. He's going to get called out, I think, by Favor. And this watch is back. About 3 seconds, he's going to get shot from the side. Oh, even quicker than that. It's just another freebie for Northampton.
Yeah, man, Washoy just doesn't have his head in the game right now. Feels like Scarz just don't either. This is just not a map for them at all. Just completely uncompetitive compared to what we saw on Clubhouse. It's a big, big flip between the difference here. And the yellow-pink. Now, that's a little bit too ambitious from you, Kiz. Gun wasn't quite at the ready. Was in a sprint. Fishlight gets a good timing on the swing. Now has bathroom control. Obviously, could feel the pressure here from Sol and Nina, crouches and creeps, and they will be able to get pinch. Fishlight with a good headshot, got traded, but 2 for 1. That's a big, big win there for Scarz. Really, really big play for Fishlight to keep the pressure on. Counter control established. Now towards top library. All there's for Northampton, then the on-site pressure can begin. Vulcan canister blows up over towards Bar. Sayache with a big kill on beyond, and Sharif gets a free one onto Rek. In mud, what's he doing?
Whoa. Oh, the damage not done yet. Still another Vulcan on double window, so 15 seconds. Did he jump in? Yeah, he jumped in.
He did.
And went for the plant.
Oh no. Oh no, that's just a mess. Concerns. Absolutely large concerns here in Chalet for Scarz. Any sense of this one being a 3-0 grand final, I think, is completely gone. This one looks over. Yeah,
the head is not in the game. I don't know what's really going on for Scarz at the moment, but the roam is poor because the lurkers aren't being covered. Then through the mid-round, Purn dies with 3 gas canisters in hand, so they can't then really rely on time as being much of a factor as a win condition. And then very, very late into the round, it's as simple as some of these shots not landing, player in mud caught out looking the wrong way with the windows open. Yeah. It's weird, right? Because the first couple of maps, the first 2 maps, Scarz looked really competitive, and Chalet has just been a whole different ball game. A map which Northampton yet to play in this stage. One in which they're looking quite good on at the moment. We had our doubts on Scarz. They lost it against Crest in the group stage, so we don't want to be overly harsh on them. I think it's more so just the disappointment stemming from the fact that, again, first 2 maps really good. Chalet, they just look like they're not even in the server.
5 seconds remaining.
Also might just be a case of if they don't win this round, you may as well just pack it in the second half. Because tell you what, Scarz still win this round despite how poor they've been, guys. A 4-2 defensive half on Chalet is not the end of the world. If this ends up being rather attacker-sided, it really doesn't necessarily spell disaster, but you've got to be competitive. Nina, oh, the timing on the reload doesn't get the kill. Rek will get that one to stop it over the trophy. That's a big, big kill.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Oh. Okay. And just when it feels like Scarz may actually have an advantage for once, well, Sharif just snatches that away. 7-1 in this map so far, so well and truly coming alive when Scarz really wish that would not be the case. So Snowmobile now open. 2 minutes on the clock, so this will be a threat that persists throughout the remainder of the round. It's something that Scarz will need to be mindful of. And they'll probably be hyper vigilant considering Northampton continue to catch them off guard. Not just on site, but around the map as well. I'll show you up above, so It's a similar, or it's the same mirror setup here, looking in towards library from what's showing. I just prep that for him. And he'll likely be looking to waste as much time as possible. I don't know if he'll want to play for his life, probably. If you drop down and main door's being watched, you're not going to win that fight. But he does escape. So not too bad, and he can link up with Pune over towards Solo.
Just gonna play time here as well. Like, don't have to force things at the moment, Scarz. So allow Northampton to push into you. Allow them to try and take key positions here. And through trophy now, you kids can push over towards West Main, potentially clears out quite a lot. It's very aggressive, very fast now through West Main. Obviously go back and grab that camera and hack the cams for the side of Northampton. 50 seconds left. Still too much control above for Scarz. It's at this time where they need to start pushing back down, guys. Like, they're just sitting up on top.
But here's the lurk. This could do so much damage. Shreep's going to get this kill. So that's one. Might get the second over towards Quad. Spots him. So it's going to be 2 kills here, surely. Shreep pushes deep. There you go. It's round over. Now the retake is basically impossible. There's no planted arm. Once it goes down, you just sit outside breach.
And you got 2 players that are basically not involved in that at all. Yeah, nothing around. Disappointing. Honestly, just disappointed with Scarz right now. This is awful. Just allows the little creep onto site, through site, gets double kill. It's basics, absolute basics. And maybe I'm being too harsh, but again, these are teams that are going to the major, guys. You're playing against teams around the world. They're not going to really allow these kind of mistakes to happen. They will punish it, just as that was. 5-1 lead for Northampton.
The difficult thing is they're not going to be playing a best of 5 unless they make the grand final. So it's a whole different ballgame, BO3 to BO5, and you're going to have weaknesses because you just can't cover enough maps in the pool. So I think we can forgive them a little bit on this map, just under the assumption that they're going to lose it, right? From the next map onwards, though, that's when I think we could be a little bit more critical and actually have a little bit more meaning behind it. Yeah, you still obviously need to win 3 to close out the series. Scarz looks so much better on the first 2 maps that it would be very disappointing to see them fall in a heap like they are. And it's just fundamental issues as well. I don't know how much of it we can pin on Chalet, and that's why I sort of want to wait for the next map to see if it's a little bit more global. It's just things like these lurk entries and just the lack of trades, and yeah, it's just concerning stuff. You shouldn't be allowing players so deep into site to cause so many issues.
Hard to envision they're going to be able to bring this one back. Have to be basically perfect from here, and so far they've been anything but perfect. Pion 2-6, Rashoy 1-6, Rek 2-6, Ayu 1-5. Fish like the only one that's been able to have some impact kills in this game. And credit to Northampton though, guys. It's very easy. 2-0 down in a grand final. That, yes, it has got some implications. It's not the greatest of. It would have been very easy for them to just come into Chalet here and pack it up. So, whatever, let's just not show anything else. But they've come back because they want to win. And then they want to make a statement that they're not going to just roll over. They want to extend this grand final and probably not go into the major with a beat down on their record. Yeah, you lost Clubhouse 7-1, but you can respond, and you kind of can forget about that Clubhouse a little bit. If you can get this grand final to go to Villa, go to that 5th map, and even if you then still lose, you got the credits again in the bank to suggest that you've got a team that's capable of dealing with some tough, mentally tough situations and fighting back. So really, really good learning here for Northampton. Scarz, well, they're going to have to go through the same learnings now after this map.
Oh, this looks more promising, right? So 4v4, and they've rotated for the back west main push. I don't mind this to kick off their attacking half. They've opened up Snowmobile. They'll switch it up a little bit. The key thing, though, is they don't actually have Diffuser in hand. So I don't know if they've realized that at this point, but they will need to try and go for that if planting is a win condition. And considering there's still players on the top, it will need to be a condition. Let's see if it gets cleared. Oh, there you go. Okay, so maybe they can try and look to frag out, but it looks like nonetheless Fishlake has rotated. So Diffuser is in the hands. Minute to go. They can bring it back over to West Main if they want to go for a summer plant. So not too bad here at the moment for Scarz, but Sharik is still on the prowl.
Ooh, just got a little bit overzealous there with that push. Thinking that the only angle that was going to affect him was maybe that breach instead of the doorway was still a factor. Loses his life. Yeah, and Scarz have slowly, very slowly been able to just get themselves into a winnable position here. It's not even over yet, though. Still got to deal with Smoke, still got to deal with Sage-Chan. Has been dealt with by Rek. Really clean round to open up their attacking half. All right. Maybe this just ends up being a super attacker-sided Chalet. Maybe that's the story of this map in this grand final. We'll see. We'll get confirmation in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, may well be. May well be. And that was actually really good from Scarz. It was pretty basic. It was nothing crazy. I don't think even Boiler got opened at that point. North Epsom were just under a lot of pressure. They felt the need to make a play back in response. It almost echoed what we saw from Scarz, right? Where it's just constantly the defense trying to make up for early round pressure and making pretty poor decisions. Scarz actually looking quite sharp there, so good to see. Defensively, you say up and lining, same setup here. So the footholds in the library. I think they're going to play that aggressive deployable in front of double defense. So team's really trying their hardest to dissuade the attack from pushing into library, making it very, very tricky.
Ten seconds remaining. Bomb located by attackers. 5 seconds left before insertion.
Well, how much of it was maybe just a one round there for Scarz, or is this really going to end up being attacker-sided Chalet? Boy, it's a difficult map to sort of grasp. In certain regions, it really is largely attacker-sided. So far in Japan, it's been 54% in favor of the defense. Things and roundabouts, you just never know on the day with this map. And the way that these teams are playing, it's a very, very good half from North Epsom to begin. Maybe Scarz can look to replicate that. Maybe they can start to find a bit of confidence. Remember, they've already used their tactical timeout. That was after 2 rounds. So don't have that to fall back on either later in this half. On the rappel, outside of Solar for Pion. And it's Sharip that finds the opening kill in a second as well. Very aggressive from Sharip. That might just be the round over before it even began.
Yes. The aggression there not tamed by the attack, and Scarz find themselves now in a very difficult position. They'll need North Epsom to throw away a couple of picks. There's at least one. And Scarz have information. We can see these yellow pings dotted around, and they're looking to try and capitalize that. They tried to catch off favor through dining. Unable, though, to find that kill. So it leaves it in a 4v3. Half the round to go. 9 flashbangs in play, so they may be able to create a bit of space through Solar if they want to stack that position. But at the moment, it's the patience game. Unfortunately, though, for Scarz, I don't think North Epsom are going to play into it.
Pion started very well in the second half. Are you as well? 60 seconds remaining. 3-round advantage for North Epsom. 1 player advantage in this round. In the Sharip show, but he's not going to be effective for the remainder of this. Nina. Big kill onto Tayu. Into sight. And surely from here, North Epsom will get match point, or in this instance, I guess map point. Double Solar stack here for Pion and Fishlike. It's going to be one angle of attack. Got to play with each other, and honestly, they both got to find a kill immediately. Through the gas paver early, Fishlike low on health. This is such a risky play. To be fair, it's the only play he's kind of got. The flash, ineffective. Match point for North Epsom to get themselves back into this best of 5 grand final. Chalet has been their home.
Yeah, really good work there from Nina. If double window control isn't lost there, there's every chance that Scarz are actually able to try and get a plant down and cover the cross from double window, but yeah, sharp from Nina, shuts down that win condition. Now with map point. And what has felt like an inevitable result at this point. Seems like it's going to finally start developing 4 opportunities now for North Epsom in regulation to close this one out. And for what looked like a pretty inspired start to the half here for Scarz, has now turned upside down. Again, just highlights that you cannot be making many mistakes if you have a poor first half. Obviously, it's obvious to say that, but Scarz now feeling that pressure directly. Dining defense from Northeption. And we're seeing some of those key players now from Northeption that we saw step up yesterday, that we saw step up against Cyclops, really come alive in this series.
Shuri being the big one, 13-3 here in Chalet, absolutely impeccable. And it's that last round too that really, yeah, you get the double kill. Yeah, you lose your life, but they're two massive kills. Impact kills are so important. You know, it's one thing if you're just kind of stat padding at the end of a round in a, you know, 4 versus 2 or a 5 versus 2, and you happen to get the double at the end. It's like, yeah, okay, those kills, are they really that impactful? Not really. So doing it in the early portions of these rounds, making things happen, it's really been the dream map. And you've got to remember as well, Bank after this, guys. In my mind, similarities here to Chalet in the sense that I think Northeption can really utilize the aggressiveness of a player like Sharif, getting certain control of positions, even jump outs can be on the cards. So I don't think Bank's going to be a given. And Scarz didn't play well in it either in the, I think it was the semi-final. They lost that one to Exist 8-6, so vulnerable they could be. And if they lose that, then you go to a 5th map. Nina with the opening kill onto Rek. This one's probably done. Player in the repel outside bedroom. Tayu outside of Solar. Nina trapped basically between the two repelled players. And a double kill, at least for Scarz, gets them back into this round. All hope, not necessarily lost straight away. Reap over towards Mud.
You look at the positions of Northeption at the moment, no one is contesting up above, so it should be relatively easy for Scarz to begin working that Verd, and Yuki senses that. I think wants to maybe attack Solar. It is being guarded by Washoy, so it's not really a possibility at this point. I think Scarz, just for their own safety, probably need to find one more kill. Well, that's now been thrown out the window. Yuki is running Rampage over towards Trophy. Minute to go. Fish Lake also down. So, just like that, in the space of a couple of seconds, it flips once more. That kill confirmed, so no revival opportunity. And this 6-2, looking very much like it's teetering towards a 7-2 victory for Northeption.
Yeah, I agree. It's not looking good here. Scarz. Gonna have to just be a drop and hope for Pure. No more flashes after using that one. Trying to just find something from above, trying to maybe catch a player here and bring it to a 2 versus 2. Sharif is obviously going to make sure he can't die to any kind of drop, playing all the way back over towards Mud. He can push it in last second with a big flank. Shoy watching West Main stairs. So John gets the plant down. This is being watched pretty well by Washoy. Now they can actually play the retake. There's one above though for Northeption. West Main stairs is the up on a 1 versus 4. Trade. Fight. Reap eventually finds the final kill of this one. Chalet's done just as quick as Clubhouse. 7-2 from Northeption. They do not give up in this grand final. They will be fighting tooth and nail. 2-1 is the scoreline now in the grand final. Northeption have made their mark.
Yeah, we certainly saw a much different Northeption there in the 3rd map, finally coming alive, and those star players like Sharif, like Nina, stepping up, having an impact, and quite a decent spread between those players for Scarz, trying to manufacture a lot of rounds there, and obviously it doesn't work out for them. So 7-2 the scoreline, where we did expect Scarz to be a little bit weaker on that map, but Northeption